All right, let's get rocking and rolling. Let's get excited if we aren't already, because the markets are moving. And if the markets are moving, there's opportunities presenting itself every single day in every single direction that this market is moving right now. So earlier this morning, earlier today, if you guys have been paying attention to the channel, if you guys have been paying attention to my videos, if you guys have been in the crypto citadel and been paying attention, I have been warning everybody that today could have been the beginning of a correction. And we saw that. We saw Bitcoin pull back here, right? Nothing major, just a small drop, but an opportunity nonetheless. We came up from 106,000, pretty much round up to be exact, 105,890 bucks, which was the London high session. And we dropped below the weekly open. We lost the previous day range and we fell into the previous week range, right? Why did this happen? Why did I know this was going to be happening? Well, if we look here on the, let's see, just on the 15-minute chart, Bitcoin swept the previous week high, previous day high, and value area high of the previous week range twice. Once during the Asia trading session and another time during the London trading session. Then during the stock market open, we had a little bit of bullish momentum. We were bouncing off this value area low from the previous day range. We were holding the point of control for the previous week range, right? We were trying to look like we're going to stay above the weekly open. Could not hold it, and we dropped below the previous day low. Once we dropped below the previous day low, that was it for me. We were heading lower. I took a short, right? We took a long as well when we reclaimed the previous day low, because on the 15-minute, here, we quickly reclaimed it. I was like, oh man, this could be just a quick little wipeout, and we're going to push higher. Took a little bit of a long here, got stopped out of it, took a small little 8% loss, and then we dropped below the previous day low again, took the overall short, and we dropped down to the weekly average of the week, right? The new weekly average was $100,804. That trade right there was a nice little trade nonetheless, right here, as you guys can see here. Right, we had the long, we took the long, we got stopped out of the long here, 8.5% to the negative, lost 346 bucks. Then I took the short, right, Bitcoin 21x short here, and as you can see, got a 26% winner, $1,389. Bing bam boom, let's go. That was a massive win for the crypto citadel today. So now Bitcoin has dropped down here. On the more macro level, if we start zooming out, right, if we start zooming out here, I can close off some of this other indicators here that I have. So on the macro level, get rid of this previous day range as well. We don't need that anymore. Come on now. If we look here at this chart, let's actually just jump out to the 4-hour. As you can see here, this is the previous week range right now, right? I appreciate all of you guys jumping in here, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day. Bitcoin dropping below $104,888. Well, we actually swept that area. We tried to break above it. We swept it. We came back down. We closed below it on the 4-hour, right? Entering this previous week range here. The previous week range extends from 104,878 all the way down to $97,185. Now, can we rotate this range all the way to the downside? Absolutely. There is definitely the possibility that we rotate this range all the way down. As of right now, we came down to the weekly average of 100,800, which is a little bit about halfway through the range. We still have another target to the downside of $99,756 for Bitcoin, but we had a very strong bounce here on the 4-hour from this weekly average of 100,800 bucks. Very strong bounce. If this bounce continues to hold, right, if this area continues to hold, we could start pushing back up. Overall, in the macro, I'm still very bullish on crypto. I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin. The bullish sentiment coming out, right? The conversations of trade deals coming to the table, extremely bullish for crypto overall. So right now we're obviously seeing the crypto bubbles. Some of them are in the red. Altcoins are pulling back. A lot of people are asking about altcoin pullbacks. When are we going to pull back? When are we going to pull back? Well, we could be pulling back a little bit lower to 96,000, right? But even if we don't right now, the altcoins have already had a little bit of a pullback, 5, 6, 7%, some of them even up to 10% on the last and throughout the day today. So little moments of opportunity nonetheless. Let me start jumping into the chat here and start seeing how everybody is doing and start reading some conversations here. What do you think is going to happen for the rest of the week, bro? All-time high coming this week, then big correction. That is a possibility. That is a possibility, right? We could just correct first. We could just continue dropping lower throughout this week, right? It's not going to be a straight one move to the downside. We could just literally be chopping sideways, right? Dropping lower to 99, having another big of a bounce, dropping again to 98, having another bounce until we come down to 96 throughout the week, rotate the entire previous week range, and then start moving back towards all-time highs. That's definitely a possibility, right? There are definitely targets to the lower side that we can be looking at for correction here in the meantime. And in the meantime, Bitcoin is going to be, as Bitcoin drops, altcoins are going to be dropping. The biggest saving grace here that we have for the altcoins is the Bitcoin dominance, right? The Bitcoin dominance has had a little bit of a climb back up to 62.65% overall after Bitcoin dropped here, right? But it's still within this Q1 range, right? It's still within this Q1 range with its targets to the downside being 61.67 and 61.23. Those are its short-term targets here, its main overall point of control for the Bitcoin dominance, right? As Bitcoin dominance continues to slip to the downside, we're going to continue seeing altcoins rally, and altcoins kind of pretty much hold up their price action. Altcoins haven't had any major drawback just yet, right? Because Bitcoin hasn't had a major drawback, dropping from 105 down to 100 and bouncing back up to 102 is really nothing. It's more of a sideways chop, if anything. So we do have targets down to 59% and lower for Bitcoin dominance. As that plays out, altcoins are expected to continue rallying. Let's jump back into the chat here. Whoa, chat is flying. Could you check Link to see if we can go up? Chainlink definitely has targets to the upside, guys. If you guys are in the Crypto Citadel, you guys have seen a lot of macro updates that I've been posting. A lot of macro updates. Chainlink is definitely one of the ones that I've been posting about as well. We're keeping a very close eye on Chainlink as well, right? Chainlink, we got it posted right over here. But if I take a quick look at Chainlink's chart overall, Chainlink right now. Oh, that's not my chart. Chainlink, USDT. Give me that Binance chart, bruh. All right, let me turn off my indicators here. Let me zoom out to the daily. All right, Chainlink has come up and has hit some critical targets to the upside, right? Chainlink has ran up, broken out of the April range here. We were down on May 6th. We were down at $13.58. When we posted about it in the Crypto Citadel on May 7th, right, it was still sitting at $13.65, as you guys can see right here. Posted about it on May 7th. We're talking about the targets to the upside of $17 to $18. Guess what? We just came up yesterday, or today actually. We wicked all the way up to $17.95, missing our $18.09 target, but we did hit our quarterly average here of $17.52. And now we've had a little bit of a pullback. Can we have a smaller pullback here? Absolutely. If we go over here, we're coming down to the 382, which is already kind of bouncing off of that 1615. But if it continues to retrace, we could see a little bit of a retracement here to 1487, which also is the value area high of April's range before a bigger bounce to the upside. That's if the 382 does not hold and 1615 loses support. We have other targets to the upside. Macro gold pocket sitting up at $23.65, and then we have a few more targets to the upside for Chainlink overall. But you know, this is the benefit of being in the Crypto Citadel, is catching these charts early. And these are macro targets, guys. These are macro long-term targets that even if you're just buying spot, those targets are printing money, right? Those targets are printing money. Now, if you're taking a low leverage trade, 3, 4, 5x, right? Nothing crazy over the next couple of days or weeks, sometimes these macro targets will massively hit and they'll print, right? That's the whole thing. The whole thing about crypto is managing risk. What's an L1 that can hit 5x? Dude, that's hard to say. That's hard to say. But if there's an L1, a layer 1 that I'd be say that could get near a 5x, maybe I would say Avalanche. Now, why do I say that? Avalanche is currently sitting at $24. I definitely think Avalanche can go up to $50 again, right? That's a 2x, right? It's a 100% move, right? Or we're moving up. And then above that, we have major targets for Avalanche. If we go take a look at Avalanche, Avalanche is another one that we follow in the Crypto Citadel very closely, right? We have targets for AVAX. Once we start flipping over $51, we have targets at 71, 97, 120, and all the way back to its previous 2021 all-time high of 147. I definitely think AVAX could potentially break it. It's a little bit of a stretch. It depends how long Bitcoin takes to get to 200K, how long these altcoin rallies are going to happen, but there is a good possibility that we have a major rally here coming for the next 12 to 18 months, right? We could be having a big altcoin rally here for the next 12 to 18 months. I think 2026 is going to be a very bullish year. I think people are expecting a very bearish year, and I think realistically we're going to have a way more bullish 2026 than people expect. So I definitely think that AVAX could get near that 5x, right? Could get near that 5x as a layer one. I don't really see any other layer ones doing a 5x. I know a lot of people are talking about Solana, right? But a 5x for Solana, you're talking about getting like over $1,000, right? You're getting over $1,000. Now that I think is a bit of a stretch for Solana. Anything's possible. The possibility isn't zero. I just think the possibility is a lot less than most people think. Let's see here. Can you see Solana $500 this year? I wouldn't say this year, but I'll definitely say it's possible, right? We have to take into account the biggest rally all of 2024, right? With all the meme coin frenzy that it had, even with Trump launching his official meme coin in January, only got Solana up to 295, right? It only got Solana up to 295, and it's had a major pullback since then. Not saying that it can't revisit 295 or that it can go to 300, 400, maybe even $500 at some point. I'm just saying that it would take a lot longer because we had some major events in 2024 that couldn't get Solana that high, and it definitely didn't hold for long. So I don't see any major events happening to get us up there that quickly. So that being said, $500 for Solana is going to probably take longer than this year. Mark Dutch, what's going on, brother? Says, where's the bathrobe? It's not a bathrobe, guys. It's a leisure robe, right? It's like the one that Hugh Hefner used to wear, right? Where it's just like for leisure. It's not a bathrobe. I don't bathe and then put that robe on. Appreciate all of you guys jumping in here. Where do you roughly think XRP is going to hit? That's a good question. So XRP has had some nice movement in price action today, had a major little kind of breakout. It's obviously pulled back, came up to as high as 263, up 18% this week. If we take a quick look at XRP, XRP USDT, right here, do a quick little zoom in here of this chart, right? I've been talking to you guys about, hey, main targets here was between 240 to 245, 250, and then breaking above 254, we break out of this March range. Our next main target here would be the Q1 value area high of 278. But overall, big target, big macro target to the upside is $3.10 for XRP. XRP is still holding 254, is still fighting that resistance. It came up as high as 264. Had a little bit of, as a retracement as Bitcoin did pull back. But overall, XRP is holding up pretty strong here. We do a little bit of a macro right here. Let's get a little golden pocket right here. See, we got a golden pocket sitting at 277, which lines up right with the value area high of Q1. Of Q1. So definitely expect some resistance in that area of 277. That's our next big target. And then above that is 310 for XRP. Now, if we're talking price prediction wise, just like off the top of my head, how far do I think Bitcoin XRP can really go? Realistically, I'm looking at a $4 to $5, maybe $6 max, right? And I'm being generous with the $6. Can it go higher? Maybe. Possibilities are never zero. Anything is possible in this world, right? Just the probability of that happening are potentially a lot lower in my mind. Because a lot of people are throwing around the $10 price mark. And look, guys, I want everyone to make money. I want everybody to print as much money as possible in this market. And if XRP is that for you, it's going to be that big time thing. I hope it goes to $10, right? Whatever. But $10 XRP is $1 trillion asset. Can that happen in the next 5 years? Maybe, very possible, right? But at the same time, the shift around XRP with all the banks using it and taking over the SWIFT system, I think people are starting to peel back the layers and starting to realize that that's probably not really where Ripple is going with XRP. I think XRP is really going to be flipping over to supporting a lot of stable coins, and a lot of stuff is happening with the dark pools with XRP, where the private ledger is happening, and they're just not really going to be affecting the price of XRP as people think it is. And I think XRP has been used by Ripple as a way to fundraise a ton of money, right? Make a ton of money by selling and dumping on everybody. And they use that money. Now they're trying to buy Circle. They're making acquisitions, buying up all these companies to grow their company's value, so that then they can IPO and go public in the stock market. And I think that's their ultimate goal. And eventually, continue building with stable coins and some stuff like that with other countries and banks. But I don't think XRP itself is the long-term SWIFT replacement, right? They're not going to replace SWIFT system with XRP. If anybody's going to replace SWIFT system, I think Chainlink has a better chance of that. So you're saying 589 is still a possibility? Oh man, anything's possible in this world, right? Anything is possible. But realistically, 589, bruh, that just doesn't even math, right? Look at the market cap, look at the supply. Think about that. I don't know what the math is right now, but a $589 price point for XRP is like quadrillions of dollar market cap. Quadrillions, some ridiculous market cap number that just makes no sense. $4 to $5 2025 or what? Yeah, $4 to $5 in 2025 is possible. Obviously, like I told you, I showed you in the TA, 310 is my big target here, which is definitely possible in the next couple of months, right? Depending how far Bitcoin goes. If Bitcoin really starts to skyrocket here and starts rallying to new all-time highs, smashing 120K plus, stuff like that. Obviously, the Bitcoin dominance continue dropping. Yeah, definitely Bitcoin can, XRP can definitely reach $3 pretty quickly. And later this year, maybe it's at $4 or $5. But it's all dependent on how fast Bitcoin can make a new all-time high. Let's continue reading here. What is, oh man. So the tariffs were just another big shakeout of the week then. Always, dude. I've been talking about it since the beginning, right? The tariffs were a massive negotiation tactic, right? Putting pressure on all these other major countries to come to the table and negotiate. Now that that has happened, obviously it's shaking out the stock market. Stock market pulled back drastically the first quarter. Bitcoin and crypto, actually Bitcoin held up pretty strong. It only dropped like 32%, 36% from its all-time high down to 76. Altcoins did get smashed though. Altcoins did get smashed. They dropped like 80%. That was a major buying opportunity for altcoins, right? If you were going to be dollar cost averaging, if you were going to be building up your portfolio, definitely wanted to be buying around those areas, right? Those are bear market prices, right? A lot of people are now looking for pullbacks. You're not going to get an 80% pullback now, right? You might get 10, 15, stuff like that, right? For altcoins here and there, short-term lived dips. But overall, 80% pullbacks, those are the times you buy. When you see 80% pullbacks, those are the times you buy, right? Like, look at my boy Aerodrome over here, right? Aerodrome dropped massively. It dropped, let's go, actually in the last year, we dropped down to, from $2.20 down to 31 cents. We actually dropped down to 28 cents. And since then, we have had a major rally, right? We've been talking about Aerodrome in the Crypto Citadel for months. Look at this. And those are the way, that's how you really make big changes in your portfolio, where you make, I'm not going to say generational wealth, but I'm saying a large growth in your portfolio is Aerodrome from its top. All right, and we got a measurement here real quick. From its top. Come on, man. from its top down to its lows, which was 29.28 cents, was an 87% pullback. 87% pullback, guys. Guess what? From that very bottom to the little local top we hit here, we're up 182%. Up 182%. Massive rally from these lows, right? And this is just spot buying without leverage trading, anything like that. This is the power of dollar cost averaging. This is the power of when you're looking at macro targets in the crypto citadel over the long term, and you're seeing these targets. You're seeing that we came down to the March 2024 value area low, right? One of the lowest lows. Look at this, right? This chart, this obviously is a new altcoin that launched in 2024. This was the last piece of support here, 32.28 cent area. This was the last piece of support. Everything else was down below 10 cents. It was either we're going to go to zero on Aerodrome or this thing's going to recover. And those are the times where you have to put on a little bit of risk, right? And obviously, if you did and you'd been paying attention in the crypto citadel, you would have just been up 182% on your move, right? On a complete spot bag. That means if you would have put in $1,000, you would have made $1,800 of profit. Right? You would have made your 1,000 back plus another 1,800 of profit. That is insane. Let's see here. Yo, what's going on, brother? Appreciate everybody jumping in here. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes. Yeah, good to see you, Alexandra G. Blockchain Crusader, do you know Epic Chain? Epic USDT? I don't know anything about Epic Chain. Is it really Epic? Or is it just a name? It hasn't had any epic rallies. It's only up 6.4% on the month, 13% on the week, down 6.2% on the day, a 32 mil market cap. So this is a micro cap. This is swimming with, we're going to be swimming with the fishes here. You know, this is D-Gen level stuff, right? High risk stuff for sure. Let me jump back into the chat here. What is your price prediction? Your near prediction? What is your near prediction? Are you talking about like near the actual near protocol, or like what is my prediction for like the near term future? I don't really know what you're asking here, but near is up 43% this month, up sitting at $3.18, up 35% this week alone. Major rally here for near protocol. So I'll let me know what you actually were asking there. ETH prediction is Jupiter cooked. So Jupiter, I don't believe Jupiter is cooked, but Jupiter has issues with its tokenomics, and like it doesn't. Radium is where it's at, right? Radium is where all the Solana things are really happening, right? Radium is where if there's a DEX to choose between all the DEX that we have Orca, we have Jupiter, and we have Radium on Solana. Radium's the one that's really like the Mac Daddy. There's one that's connected to to Phantom Wallet, right? By default, all this stuff. Radium is where I would be putting my money, not financial advice. But if I had to pick a DEX for Solana, I would be picking Radium. ETH price prediction, Sui. All right, let's hit these topics here. So Ethereum, we've talked about it in the Crypto Citadel forever, right? Just forever talking about Ethereum, right? You can see all the updates. These are all macro updates for long-term targets. We talked about Ethereum back on May 1st. We were talking about Ethereum back in April. Where is it? Where is Ethereum? Where are you, Ethereum? Gosh, so many other targets. All right. Back on March 2nd, we've been talking about Ethereum. We've been talking about all these freaking targets for Ethereum forever, right? Ethereum is finally making moves, right? Ethereum is making moves here. Actually, this is not my Ethereum chart. This is my Ethereum chart. Whoopsie. So Ethereum's hit a lot of targets, right? We were sitting above here. Once we reclaimed the value area low for Q1, we kind of went sideways for a couple of days from the 23rd all the way up to May 8th, when May 8th was the day we launched off. We went up to 2176, 2187, hit those targets. Just recently, we hit our major quarterly average target of $2,443, and then we came up as high as 2605 before pulling back here today. Right, we still have targets to the upside. We have 2711, and then our next major macro target here is going to be 2923, which pretty much is right above the value area high of the Q1 range. If we break above that, then our next big target here is going to be 3182, right? We have a few more targets in between, right? We have a cluster of targets, but overall 2182 is going to be our big target. It's also right above our yearly pivot. And then obviously we have targets up to 4,000, but this is going to be a critical area of 3182. Either we flip this area or we're going to be pulling back for a little short period of time for Ethereum. Overall, Ethereum is a long-term hold for me. I've been buying Ethereum since 2018 down at $80, right? I've bought it all the way up to $1,000. I've bought it all the way up to $2,000. I've never bought it higher than 2,000. But to be exact, $1,750 is probably the highest I've ever bought Ethereum. That being said, price prediction-wise, I do believe Ethereum is going to reach all-time highs. I do believe Ethereum is going to make a push for that $6,000 to $8,000 price point. Now, is that going to happen in 2025? Probably not. I think I'm seeing that more likely happening somewhere in 2026, right? If 2026 continues rallying the way it is, I definitely see Ethereum going between 6 to 8 into 2026, unless we have a very large, very bullish, very fast rally for Ethereum in the Q4 of this year, right? I definitely think we're going to spend a lot of time between $3,100 and $4,000, $5,000 range for some time before we have another big leg up, right? To build a lot more support up there. So that's why I don't think 6 to 8K is going to happen this year, but I could be wrong, and I hope I am. I hope we see 6 to 8,000 this year. I hope we see it, but realistically, I'm aiming between 3 to 4,000 by the end of this year. Let's see here, Sui. Sui has been a massive pusher. I don't know what you want to call it. Just has had a major rally here. It's gotten all the way up to $4.25 before pulling back down to $3.93. It's pretty much rotated its entire Q1 range target at a very drastic rate, a lot faster than any other altcoin at this point in time, right? Back in April 22nd, we started rallying very hard. It was still April 28th, and we were already hitting the value area high of the Q1 range. We pulled back down into this green pocket of support here. I thought we were going to come down to at least 303, but we didn't. We held the yearly pivot of 318, bounced off of that, came up here, hit our macro gold pocket of $4.14, hit our macro gold pocket, and that is now leading us to have a little bit of a pullback, probably retest this value area high, retest this resistance zone, see if we can hold this, right? Before pushing up to our next major target of $4.81. Above that, we got no volume. Above that is just sky high, breaking out to price discovery, see where the thing drops. Now, Sui is one that I can see hitting $10 this year, right? We're very close to its highs. We're very close there to having a full recovery back to its all-time highs. Sui's been performing very, very well overall. It's TVL over here. We jump on over to DeFi Llama, right? It's TVL has been slowly climbing back up again. Back in Q1 so far was dropping, and then since the ending of April to now, to the beginning of May, we have been having a steep climb here in TVL for Sui. Its ecosystem has been performing very well. It's TVL it's over $2 billion, pretty much making a new all-time high here, or pretty much reaching its previous all-time high in TVL. So that being said, I believe currently sitting, what is its market cap overall? What is Sui's market cap? Sui's market cap currently at basically, let's round up to $4, is $13 billion, right? Going up to $8, we're talking about a $26 billion market cap. Reaching a little bit over up to $10, we're talking about overall like a close to 30-something billion dollar market cap. I think that's very, very possible for Sui, and I think Sui is showing all the strength it can. that it is definitely going to be a long-term performer here. Just my personal opinions, right? Obviously, never financial advice. That is why we're keeping a very close eye to Sui in the Crypto Citadel, guys. And if you're not in the Crypto Citadel already, there's a link down below. If you're not in the Crypto Citadel, there's a link down below. If you're watching on TikTok, the link is in the bio. Go on over there. Use the promo code Citadel when signing up so that you can get 50% off your first month. Citadel, it's pretty easy. It's called Crypto Citadel. Just use the word Citadel. Sign up with it. You get 50% off your first month. You get macro long-term targets to the upside, macro targets to the downside for the people that are long-term holders, that are not day traders, but are long-term holders, which you guys are also traders. You guys just don't know it. And you get daily trade setups. You get signals for trade signals, right? If you want to go long or short Bitcoin, and we do exclusive live streams happening up there. We're doing one tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, an exclusive market update in the Crypto Citadel. We do live trading sessions in there as well, and we're going to be doing some introductory into technical analysis as well, live streams in there to start teaching the members how to use my custom indicators that I've made as well. So that's another thing. You get my custom indicators that I've made. I've made 2 custom indicators. You see them on my chart all the time. It's these 2 right here. They really help out on finding support and resistances. And, if you know what you're doing with time, you can use this as actionable stuff. So you get access to these indicators. Meanwhile, you're in the Crypto Citadel as well. So, yeah. Ondo. Somebody wants to talk about Ondo. Let's do it. Ondo. Dude, Ondo's one of my favorite real world assets, bro. It's where it's at. Ondo is sitting at $1.02. Came up to $1.10 today. Let's go, Ondo. Let's go. When was the last time we talked about Ondo in the Citadel? Let's see here. Let's scroll back down. Let's see here. Ondo. Where are you at? Right here. Ondo. May 1st. We talked about Ondo. We talked about targets between flipping. Once we flipped 102, our next big zone was 120, right? And we were looking for the macro gold pocket, looking at all these targets. Look at this. Look where Ondo was. Ondo was down on 91 cents on May 1st when we were talking about it in the Crypto Citadel. And look where Ondo's at right now, right? Ondo has broken above this area. We're going to go actually look at the live chart here. Ondo. Our good old buddy Ondo. Ondo right here. Ondo right now, right? We came down to the monthly MPOC, 87 cents after we getting rejected at 102, 103, which was resistance here. We got rejected. We pushed back up. We broke up to 110. We came back and retested this resistance zone, and we're still holding this weekly point of control now at 102. This is very critical that we continue holding it. We continue to hold this resistance zone here as support. Our next main target is this yearly pivot of 122. There is going to be some resistance there as well, but getting above that, we start running to 132, 151, and then we have a macro gold pocket up at 165 before running for some potential all-time highs all over again. That's what I'm talking about for Ondo, baby. That is why it's critical to be in the Crypto Citadel. If you're a long-term holder of these things, you would have been looking at those charts when we were posting Ondo. You would have been able to take some action on what was happening, and look where the price is at right now. Do you think it's worth picking up new Sol phone for any future drops? I'm not picking up the Solana phone. If you want to, go ahead. It can't hurt. It's just going to probably be overly expensive phone for, I don't know. I just wouldn't do it. Near price prediction. All right, let's go take a look at Near. Near is one that I don't look at too often. Not going to lie. I don't look at this too often at all. Yeah, this chart is very outdated. But let's do some quick and dirty TI here. We came up last time up to $7.94 back in December. Hit our historical monthly target up there, and we pulled back. And since then, we have been dropping. So let's get the Q4 range for 2024. Let's get it to the end of December 31st. Okay. Let's get January 1st all the way to the end of May. End of March. Boom. We are rotating the 𝗭𝗢𝗢 range right now, pushing back up here, hitting the point of control. Let's get the month of April. Month of April has a naked NPOC, as a naked point of control down at 205. We're currently hitting the point of control for 𝗭𝗢𝗢 range. And then we have some potential targets here. Let's see if we get some quarterly. Our next target to the upside above 317 is going to be 362 for near protocol before breaking out of the 𝗭𝗢𝗢 range. Once we start breaking out of the 𝗭𝗢𝗢 range, our next main target to the upside is going to be $5. $5. There's going to be some resistance here around 450. It's going to be re-entering the 𝗭𝗢𝗢 range, all this stuff. Next big target is going to be about $5 to the upside. And then if we get a quick macro gold pocket here from this high in December to this low in April, we have a macro gold pocket at $5.99, basically $6, basically $6 to the upside. Whoa, didn't mean to move that. Gotta clean that chart up. That chart is very messy. I just need render to dip, dude. Render's been running, man. Render's been running. That's been one that I've been keeping a close eye on for some time here. It's littered with targets all over the place, let me tell you. So render, we were talking about it obviously throughout the month of April. We came back, we retested the value area high of the month of April, right? Came down as low as $4, held that as support. We bounced back up, hit our quarterly average of $4.98, crossed above that. We front ran our target of 557 and pulled back a little bit as of today. We're bouncing off this, macro short-term 382 Fib retracement of 499. If that continues to hold, targets to the upside are 591 before reaching this macro resistance zone. And then obviously we have lots of more targets up above, all the way up to above $8 for render and higher. Now targets to the downside, they range between 395 all the way down to 343, but I don't expect that to be happening anytime soon unless Bitcoin really just has the largest bull trap ever and just dumps. Appreciate all of you guys jumping in here, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Guys, if you're not into Crypto Citadel, I don't know what you're waiting for. You guys are missing out on all these targets. You're missing out on all these exclusive updates. Just like I told you guys earlier today, right? Yesterday in the Crypto Citadel, I was talking about this correction for Bitcoin happening, right? At 10:47 p.m. Eastern yesterday, I said, hey, we swept the previous week high. This is going to be, if the previous day low breaks, we're coming down to this area right here, right? You can see the text right here. You can read it for yourself. Pause and read, right? Earlier this morning, 8:47, I said, hey, we got a second sweep. We got a second sweep of the previous day high. We could be dropping down to these levels, right? Overall, throughout the entire week, we might rotate the range down to 96, right? And guess what happened? It dropped, right? Bitcoin obviously did its thing. It dropped all the way down and it hit these targets of 101 to 100,000. It's had a nice little retreat, push back up since then. But, we took some trades today. We tried to long it when we were looking. It was looking like it was holding up some support on the previous day low, right? This long was back when the previous day low got reclaimed after that big drop. I was like, okay, we're reclaiming this very quickly. We're going to be pushing back up, go long, right? Obviously, it didn't work out. We got stopped out. That's why we keep tight stop losses. 8.5% loss, $346. Obviously, I'm trading with a lot larger margin than most of you. And then obviously, when I saw that if we jump out to the 15-minute, that this bearish engulfing candle came right back down and covered this reclaim of the previous day low. I was like, we're dropping lower. We're losing the previous day low. And beam, bam, boom. I took my Bitcoin short and printed 26%, $1,389. Beam, bam, boom. And people made money, right? I said it right here. I was like, yeah, if price doesn't jump back up in 7 minutes as we were closing, we're going to go lower. And that was the signal to go lower. And there it was. So appreciate all of you guys joining in here, smashing those likes. I see you guys signing up for the Crypto Citadel. I see you guys jumping in. I appreciate it. We're all about building a private community. How do I join your private group, Sega? It's really simple. There's a link in my profile, in all my social medias. You'll click on it, and you'll see Crypto Citadel is probably the second link down. Crypto Citadel. You click on that. You sign up there to manage your membership. You can use the code Citadel to get 50% off your first month only. Get 50% off your first month. And then once you have connected your membership, everything is paid for, you connect your Discord to that membership website that it's on, and you will be automatically able to enter my Discord channel, see all the macro analysis, updates, live exclusive streams, everything that's happening in there. And you have direct access to me, send me messages. You can request any altcoin of your choice for macro updates if you don't see a macro update on a specific altcoin of your choice. And, you just have access to everything. 𝗭𝗢𝗫, man, 𝗭𝗢𝗫 has been one of my best buys in this Q1 pullback. 𝗭𝗢𝗫 was down at 183, bro. Down at 183. Whoo! We were talking about that in the Crypto Citadel, down 183. I was scooping up as much 𝗭𝗢𝗫 as I could, and now look at 𝗭𝗢𝗫, dude, up at 400. What is that? $459 right now. 476. Our next major target for 𝗭𝗢𝗫. If we look at the macro charts here, where is 𝗭𝗢𝗫? Tau right here, back on May 1st probably. Yeah, May 1st, we made an update about it saying, hey, while we hold this quarterly average, next big target is the Q1 NPOC of 447. We hit that, obviously. We're breaking through that, getting above 480. Our next target is 523, and then our major overall big target to the upside is 617 for 𝗭𝗢𝗫. And 𝗭𝗢𝗫 has been playing out just like that, right? 𝗭𝗢𝗫 right here. We're right inside this resistance zone right now, smashing. We've hit as high as 485. We've pulled back to 461. I continue to expect some resistance there. Let's see here. Let me get a quick little macro gold pocket here. From this high of 748 down to the low for 𝗭𝗢𝗫 is 167. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Macro gold pocket is right above the 523. It's at 545. And then right above that, we have the yearly pivot at 617. Major targets to the upside. Those are our two major targets to the upside left for 𝗭𝗢𝗫. Massive rally. And then from there is just price discovery again, hitting new all-time highs. Morphal's been another one that we've talked a little bit about in the Crypto Citadel. Definitely has some interesting targets to the upside. Will Bitcoin keep dropping? It could keep dropping this week, guys. We're currently jumping back up. We're having a nice little rally to the upside. We'll see here how the daily closes today. This is at a very strong bounce here on this weekly average of 100,080. Very strong. You see this massive wick all the way to the upside, and then the last 4-hour candle has been massively green to the upside. This is very bullish. This is what you would call an SFP, right? A swing failure pattern. We pierced these levels, and then we quickly bounced right back up to the upside. So this is a very strong movement to the upside. As of right now, I think we're going to be heading a little bit higher up into this range, right? But the possibility does exist that we are within the previous week range, right? We could potentially drop to 99, maybe even 96. But as of right now, with this strong move to the upside and closure of the day, we could push a little bit higher. But we always got to be aware that we could drop lower as well. We could drop lower. We just got to keep an eye on it. That's why, I do daily Bitcoin updates in the Crypto Citadel. I do daily updates overall for, the Bitcoin, because wherever Bitcoin's going is where your altcoin's going to go. If your Bitcoin's dropping lower, then altcoins are going to drop lower. If Bitcoin's going to be pushing up, your altcoins are going to be pushing up. This is why it's very important to be tracking Bitcoin every single day. Even if you're not trading Bitcoin, even if you're not holding Bitcoin, it's very important to know where Bitcoin is going. Now, so we'll see how the chart looks like for tomorrow. I'm assuming we're going to have some targets to the upside for Bitcoin to reclaim back to the upside. So we will see here. Pinlink. Oh, man. Pinlink has been... Oops. Pinlink is it? Jeez. Oh man, Pinlink is down 11% today. Jeez, that sucks. It's a micro cap, right? It's sitting at $72 million market cap. You have to be very, very aware that the smaller the market cap, the larger the price fluctuations, the higher the risk, right? This thing has not had a major rally in the last month, but it has had a major rally in the last week, right? Up 37% from down from 59 cents all the way up to 113, and now we're sitting around 90 cents. That being said, I like Pinlink for the simple fact that even though it's high risk, not telling you guys to go buy Pinlink, I'm just saying Pinlink works in three narratives in crypto: AI, DePIN, and real world assets, right? And it's fractionalizing GPUs, bringing them online to be able to power more AI stuff. So it's very, very its narrative and its mission is very strong. Can it succeed? Hopefully. It might not, right? A lot of cryptos are going to fail. A lot of cryptos are going to go to zero. The lower the market cap, the higher the chance of an altcoin going to zero. That being said, I mean, we saw Mantra. It was like $1 billion market cap, rug, and just go straight to zero a few weeks back, which was wild. All right, so anything's possible in the crypto space. But obviously, people that are looking for those big returns, you got to go down to the lower market caps. So I'm not saying to put all your portfolio into it. I'm not telling you to buy it at all. I'm just saying, risk versus reward and what it's doing. Let's see here. Is $99 a month pretty average for groups like the Citadel? Yeah, $99 is actually relatively cheap compared to other groups, but that's pretty much the market go for it. A lot of other groups that I've seen are way higher. They're like $150, $200. And they post a lot less than I do. I can tell you that. They post a lot less than I do, and they just charging a whole lot more because they're these massive creators, right? And I think $99 is a very affordable price for the average person in crypto. I think $99 is something that people can make using the information that's in the Crypto Citadel, right? Being able to analyze the charts and looking at macro targets and stuff and dollar cost averaging. Not saying that every single day you're going to be making $99 off the Crypto Citadel. There's no guarantees like that, right? Some of the trades obviously pay off really well, that they can pay off for the Crypto Citadel for the next couple of months. Some of the macro stuff, like we've seen just lately, has obviously been paying off pretty well. So, it's just one of those things. It's just a place where you can access a lot of data that you can then use to make proper decisions in your portfolios, which could benefit you in the long term, right? It's just a way to access data, and I think that $99 is a pretty average price for the amount of time that I spend in there posting all the charts and stuff that we do. I bought ETH yesterday. Oh man, what price was that at? Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes. Oops. Let's see here. Thoughts on Bitcoin? Bitcoin overall, man. Bitcoin has been doing very well. Bitcoin's obviously had a major rally, right? We've had where is it? It's up like 20% on the month from 83,000, right? And we know that it came down from a lot lower than that, from 76,000. So major rally here in the last month. We're back over 100,000, which is very, very critical for Bitcoin to hit a new all-time high. Bitcoin dominance is starting to slip. Altcoins are starting to run. I still think 200K Bitcoin is possible. 200K Bitcoin is still possible. Can it go higher than that? Absolutely. But 200K has been my target for the longest. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. I see some of you guys asking about the Crypto Citadel. You guys can join with the link in my bio and my profile and down in the description. It's the second link down. Hit it, and then you can go to Crypto Citadel, type in the word Citadel when you're signing up to get 50% off your first month. You get macro long-term analysis. Once you're done signing up, you have to connect your Discord so that way you can jump into my Discord. That website just manages your membership. You have to sign up. Once you're done signing up, you connect your Discord to that website that you're on, and then jump into the Discord, and you'll see all the charts, all the stuff posted there, all the macro, all the daily stuff, all the live streams that we're doing. Right, you have direct access to me. You can put in all your requests for altcoin charts and stuff like that. Appreciate all of you guys jumping in here. Appreciate all of you guys that are signing up for the Crypto Citadel. We're just trying to build the biggest community where we can all help each other and have actual game plans, right? Because a lot of people in crypto are just wandering around, have no idea where resistance is, where support is, where could we be facing a pullback, when are we going to be pushing back up again, right? So I know a lot of you guys weren't buying in Q1. A lot of you guys that are not in the Crypto Citadel were not buying in Q1, even though we were coming down to like some massive low resistance, low support. That altcoins were down like 80-something%, bear market prices, right? That was the time to be buying. Now we're FOMOing because prices are pumping, and a lot of you guys are not game planning that, hey, it's not just going to go straight up. There are going to be pullbacks. There are going to be moments of resistance where we push back down again. So you have to be looking for these opportune times to dollar cost average, these opportune times to take some profits, right? And that's where the Crypto Citadel helps you present that data to you to be able to manage this, right? Because a lot of you guys work 9-to-5 jobs. A lot of you guys don't have time to learn technical analysis and don't have time to analyze charts because you're working 9-to-5, you have a family, all this stuff, right? This is my full-time job. This is what I do all day long, is look at charts and make charts for you guys in the Crypto Citadel. So, you know, $99 a month is not a bad price to get access to all that data every single month. Is it too late to buy XRP now? Buying XRP now is not a great time. I mean, obviously, if you think XRP is going to go to $5 by the end of the year or something, or the next year, sure, you can double up your whereas at 254 at $5, you'll be doubling up right now, whatever you're buying. So I wouldn't be buying XRP right now. XRP is at $148 billion market cap. I just wouldn't be buying XRP right now. I would have bought, if I was going to buy, I would have bought when it was below $2, right? When we dropped down to like 167, that would be the last time I would have bought. But obviously, you had over 5 years to buy XRP sitting at 50 cents. Most people didn't buy it. XRP is not the thing to be buying right now. But obviously, not financial advice. You do whatever you want. It is what it is. Appreciate all of you guys hanging out. I'll see all of you guys in the Crypto Citadel soon. I'll see all of you guys signing up. Make sure you're joining in there. Stay up to date with the market. Stop missing these updates like the one I posted this morning about Bitcoin pulling back, right? If you're in the Crypto Citadel, you would have definitely seen it last night and this morning. You would have been way more aware of what was happening. So tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, we're having an exclusive update for the Crypto Citadel, inside the Crypto Citadel live stream happening in there. So make sure if you guys are not in the Crypto Citadel, don't miss it. Sign up tonight. Get 50% off your first month using the promo code Citadel. And I'll see all of you guys there tonight. Tomorrow morning. Sorry. See you guys later.